Hello, everyone. We got a couple folks in here already. We are back at it for Monday. We didn't do last week because we got very sudden announcement from the governor that gyms and salons were going to close back up, which those of you who know me know that those are the two businesses that my partner and I operate as a fitness. Mixie, hi, I'm so happy to see you. Anyway, so we're back at it. We're gonna do some legs today. So if you saw the picture, then you saw my legs, and it's gonna be all using body weight. And if you wanna add some weight, then you totally can. And if you don't, that's fine too. You can also, hi Ari, if you need some more adaptive variation, you can use a chair. And if you don't have a chair handy, you can use a couch or any other piece of furniture. You might also want a broomstick. So I just unscrewed this from my broomstick, and this is for if you need maybe a little bit of support for stepping and doing lunges. This can also be used if you want to make things more challenging today by holding it above your head and pulling it apart while we're squatting. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this. So if you want it, you can go and get those things. Make sure that you have some water and maybe a towel. For those of you that don't know me or haven't been here before, my name's Elliot, and I'm the founder of this project. I'm a personal trainer here in Los Angeles, and we do this every Monday at 5 p.m. It's totally free. You can tip if you want to via Venmo. You absolutely do not have to, and it's not expected. But for those of you that are able to contribute and help and keep this going, it's appreciated. We're very grateful. So we're going to start with a warm-up. So we always start with standing warm-up. So go ahead and find a standing position. I like to practice barefoot, but if you want to wear shoes today, that's totally fine. However you're comfortable in your own space. So we're going to start up at the head, and we're going to start by tilting ears to the side. If you have any questions or anything comes up for you, please don't hesitate to throw them up in the chat. I do keep my eye on it. And I am home with my family, so if there's any family sounds happening, that's just a normal part of how we're all functioning right now. And let's look over the shoulder, and then the other shoulder. Start to bring some awareness to your breath and to your abdominals. And then let's bring this into a roll, so gentle head rolls. We want to make sure all of our joints are ready to work. And other way. You will probably hear some trains go by. And then coming to the shoulders, we're going to shrug and then press them down. And shrug and press them down. And then let's roll them. You can bring your hands to a neutral position as we roll. So I'm bringing my shoulders together at the top and then pressing them down. This is just a side view for you though. And we're going to go the other way. So pull them together, shrug them up, and then bring them forward. Good, nice work. Go ahead and extend your arms out to the side. And we're going to swing and then break at the elbows. We're dynamically opening up the chest. Just trying to get everything warm. This is your chance to feel out if maybe there's any place in your body that needs a little more attention, a little more stretching. Good. Let's bring your hands to your hips here, and then push your hips to the side, and then over to the other side. I'm definitely feeling a little bit of stiffness in my right hip, so I'm going to pay attention to that as we warm up and get ready. And now let's make circles with the hips. So you're going to push it to the side and back and all the way around. All the way around. We'll get a couple more, and then we'll go in the other direction. Other way. Nice work. And then you're going to pick your foot up, soft bend in this knee. So we've got just a little bit of bend here. And then we're just going to swing the foot like a little pendulum, getting a little bit of movement in the knee. Keep nice tight belly and keep your shoulders pulled back. That's going to help with your stability. And if you notice that you start to lock your knee out, I just want you to bring that little bend. Let's switch sides. Nice. Think of it like a hacky sack. And then we're going to come back to the other foot and we're going to do foot rolls. So we've started at the top and we've worked our way all the way down, hitting each joint with just a little bit of movement, just to wake it up and feel around what's going on in each one. So circles all nice and big, and then other way. All right, so go ahead and step your feet wide and then toe out a little. So we're bringing the toes not all the way out to a plie, but somewhere in between a plie and forward. Brace your belly nice and tight. Pull your shoulders back and then reach your hips back as we come down nice and deep. And if you hit a point where your knees start to knock in, push them back out and then only go as deep as you can keep those knees out. Squeeze your butt and drive your pelvis back up. We're going to work through some of these deep squats. So from the side, I'm reaching my hips back, setting them down, and then up. Down, 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 and up. 2, 3, down slow, and then squeeze your butt to come up. 4 more. 4, reach. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So now step your feet a little bit closer together, hips width. Toes are forward this time. Bring your hands to your hips, and we're going to reach back with the booty. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings, and then up. So we're getting that hinge that you would use if you were doing a deadlift. And think about with your feet, like you're ripping the ground apart with your feet. That's going to help you activate your booty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, reach, 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 and squeeze, and 1. All right, coming back to our deep squat. A little more narrow than that first one we were doing. Drop down slow until you find the very bottom. And if your elbows can find the insides of your knees, and go ahead and take that and press your elbows into your knees as your knees push back into your elbows. Keep your shoulders pulled together so that your chest is nice and open. And if you can, bring your fingertips to under your toes and pull on your toes as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then from here, brace your belly and lift your hips up. Looking back behind you, straighten your legs as much as you can. Drop your hips back down and look up. And then lift your hips, pulling on my toes as my toes press back into my fingers. Let's go 3 more. 3, 2, 1 more, and 1. All right, we've got 1 more little prep movement. We're going to come into a high plank. If a high plank is available to you, if a high plank isn't okay for your body, then you can go ahead and just come to hands and knees. I'll demonstrate this movement from both positions. So from high plank, we're going to step the foot up and then press through your back heel and drive through your front knee, and then drop your chest down towards the ground. And then bring that back, and other foot step, press, and switch. Now, if you're doing this from the ground, you're going to be here and here. Just keep moving through this, whatever variation you're working through. And try to find that space where there's a soft foot strike, where it's not slamming down. And just work at whatever pace feels good for you. You're getting the legs loose and warm. Good. Take one more on each side from wherever you are. One. And we're going to step up and come into 60 seconds of our shadow rope. So this is jumping rope. So it's just like we're jumping rope. You're going to add the hop. Get the calves warm. If jumping isn't good for you, then you can just bounce without the balls of your feet leaving the ground. I'm going to set this up for 1 minute, and let's go. Just think about breathing. If you have other jump rope skills that you know that you want to do in your shadow rope, you can. If that's in here, or maybe here, your Ali shuffle, whatever you want to work on, you got it. We're going to get into breaking down the movements after this. We're building a compound movement, similar to what we did with breaking down the burpee, but just doing leg movements. We're not going all over the body the way we do in a burpee. Remember to breathe. Make sure you're bouncing lightly. Our heels aren't touching the ground. Keeping it really light and nimble. We have some heel raises happening in today's movement, so we'll be happy for getting this nice and warm. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's stretch that out a little bit, doing it dynamically. So drive through the heel, step up, and then drive through the other heel. Drive and drive. So keep your hips square with the wall in front of you, and then drive dynamically through the heel. We're going to go 2 more on each side. 1 and 2. All right, y'all. Very nice. So go ahead, have some water. If you need it, you can have a little dab of the sweat. And then we're going to get into breaking down our movements. How's everyone feeling? Hopefully ready to work. Maybe you're already feeling like that was a lot of work. That's totally okay. Remember, this is just all about your pace and what you can do. So if you feel like you need some rest that wasn't given, then just go ahead and take it and do what feels good for you. If there's a movement given that you know isn't great for your body, then just swap it out with something else. Got a little visitor. Say happy Monday, pork chop. All right. We're going to start with hip circles. So your hip circles you can do with a bent knee, or you can do them with a straight leg. You can do them with some support from the dowel, if you like. You can do them with some support from the chair, whatever makes you happy. So let's start without any support, and then I'll demonstrate different ways you can use the support. So for a bent knee variation, you're going to pick your leg up to thigh parallel with the ground, and we're going to open it out and then bring it down. So picking it up and opening it out. Now, if you were doing this with a straight leg variation, we would be in here. So you can do this bent or straight. If you want to use the chair, you absolutely can. You can challenge yourself to clear the chair with your knee bent. You can challenge yourself to clear the chair with your legs straight. Just kicked it. Now, if you're using a dowel for support, if maybe your stability is not that great, or it just needs a little work, you can use the dowel to hold on here to help you get this movement as you build up your strength. So take whatever you need. We're going to work through a set on both sides, and then we'll go over the next movement. So start on whichever leg you want. I do encourage you, if you are naturally inclined to start on one leg versus the other, go ahead and switch and start with the other one. So I'm going to start with my left leg because I'm automatically inclined to start with my nice strong leg, my right leg. And I'm going to work my hands on my hips this time. So starting with bent knee for me, just for right now, just to demonstrate it, we're going to go 10 on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Gonna switch sides, and 1, 2, got a nice soft knee, meaning I got a soft bend on my post leg. I'm making sure I'm not gripping the ground with my toes. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. So for the purposes of today, we're only opening out, and it's okay if you were doing a straight leg variation or you were taking support for that. Next movement we're going to do is a reverse lunge. So without any support, our reverse lunge is here. Here. So when I step back, I have a 90-degree bend here. I have a 90-degree bend here, and my knee is set over the center of my foot. It's okay if it goes forward a little bit as long as you can see your toes. So if you look over there and you cannot see your toes, then you need to bring this knee back a little bit. I'm keeping my belly tight and my torso is upright with my gaze forward. If you're having problems keeping your knee where it's supposed to be, you can use your chair as a guide point. So you can stand where your leg is butted up against your chair so that when you step back, the knee can't go any further forward than where the chair is positioned. So that's a little hack you can use to help you learn where to keep that knee. Now, if you need support, you can use the chair in whatever position. I would tend to use it facing this way. So here you have a little bit of support. Alternately, you can use this dowel, okay, right in here. Or if you want to make this harder, hold the dowel above your head, pull on the dowel like you're trying to rip it apart, keeping your belly tight, and work through here with activated shoulders. Okay. So there's your different variations. Pick where you want to go. I'm going to work on it holding the dowel above my head. We're going to do alternating sides and 8 on each side. Set up your stance, set up your belly, step back, make sure your knee doesn't touch the ground. That's 1. They're a little bit wobbly this evening. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more on each side. You're doing great. Keep breathing. 7, and 8. Excellent work. So that's your reverse lunge. If you need water, remember, stop and take your water. Otherwise, we're going to go right into the next movement, which is a side lunge. So for your side lunge, let's put this down so that you can see it. You want to occupy the center of your mat. We're grounded on this leg, and this leg is going to step out. So I'm stepping out. You'll notice my toes. My toes are still pointed forward, and then I'm going to settle into the stepping leg's hip. This leg is straight, toes forward. My knee is over the center of my foot. It's just like I'm squatting on one leg. And then I'm going to fire up on this hip and step up to center. And then this is going to become my stepping leg. I'm going to step, toes are forward, and settle into it. So from the side here, I'm stepping and settling. This is my straight leg, toes forward. And then you'll see as I step towards you, my hips are sitting back, right? Just like a squat. Knee is over the center of my foot and up to center. If you're using your dowel for support, you'll probably just hold it however feels natural for you. I tend to hold it in just one hand. And I'm going to step, take the support if you need it, up to center. And here, you can also hold it right in the center. Just make sure that you're not marrying yourself to the dowel to the point that you're trying to lean towards it. Okay? So right in here. Alternately, if you're using a chair, then you can use the back of your chair to come in here and here. All right, so if you didn't see a variation that works for you, just pop something up in the comments and I will help you out with it. As always, you can hold the dowel above your head for this as well, okay? So I'm gonna do this holding the dowel for this set to demonstrate for folks who are using the dowel for support. And same thing, 8 on each side. So stepping to whichever side you're gonna start on, settling in and up and boom. And I'm going to kind of change up how I'm utilizing this dowel so that if you need some ideas on how it can be of service, then you'll have them. I'm keeping my belly tight, shoulders pulled back. 4, toes pointed forward. 5, good. 2 more on each side. Exhale. 1. And 2. Beautiful work. We've got a squat next. So for our squat, I want you to think about you're trying to rip the ground apart with your feet. So if you had either 2 different plates of the earth and they are trying to come together, but you're trying to keep them apart with your feet. So drive your feet apart and then feel your knees get nice and supported as your glutes activate. So once you've ripped the ground apart with your feet, then you're reaching your booty back like you're sitting in a chair, and then squeeze your butt, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze to drive your pelvis up and forward. And then rip the earth apart, reach with your hips, and then squeeze. So once again, you can use this dowel for support. You need a little bit of support to help you feel secure and getting deeper. You can use the chair by holding it, or if you need even more support, you can use the chair to work through your squats. You can squeeze your booty to come up and then reach your hips back. Sometimes just the knowledge that the chair is there frees up the brain to relax and let you come into this movement. I'm going to take an overhead squat with the dowel. We're going to work through 12 of these. So set up the variation that you're going with. Rip the earth apart, squeeze your belly, reach your hips back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost there, 6 more, and 6, 5, keep your gaze up, the ground's not going anywhere, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we've got one more movement, and then we're going to string this together into a set. We'll do 2 sets, and then we're going to put it together into a compound movement. So we're going to do heel raises. These are really important for getting those calves nice and strong, which helps with your running, it helps with your hiking, all of those fun things that some of us enjoy to do. So you can do your heel raises with both feet on the ground. Now, if that feels sufficient, like a sufficient challenge for you, then just stay right here. If that doesn't feel challenging enough, then come to single foot. So I want to challenge you to find the top of this and hold for a beat, and then come down slow instead of just letting it slam down. So really control the descent and keep that knee soft. If you need support, once again, you've got your dowel, you've got your chair. So you can come here, you can come here, you know, whichever feels right for you. And as always, you can work through this in here with your arms above your head, which is going to make that harder. So let's work through 10 on each side. If you are doing both of your feet on the ground, then you're going to do a total of 20. So we're increasing the workload. I'm going to start on my weak side for this, which is my right side because my balance is weaker on this side. I'm setting up my stability, soft knee, gaze forward, shoulders back, belly tight, and we're gonna lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then switch sides, or if you're on both feet, then this is your second 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so there's all of your movements. Have some water, because now we're going to do all of those movements in a set. So we're going to go with 8. So for things that are 2 sides, it's going to be 8 on each side. Things like the squat where you're using both sides of your body, you're just going to do 8 total. We're going to do 2 sets back to back. So we're going to go all the way through, and then we're going to start back at the beginning and go all the way through. Then we'll take some rest, and then we're going to play around with putting all these movements together into a compound movement. So you ready? Let's go. We started with those hip circles, right? So whichever variation you like, 8 on each side. I'm going to do straight leg variation. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, keeping my belly tight for balance, 5, 6, use your glutes, 7, and switch sides, soft knee, 1, 2, losing my stability, so I'm going to make my circle smaller, 3, there we go, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reverse lunges, alternating sides. So 1, 1, 90-degree angles, 2, 3, 4, 5, brace your belly, keep your torso upright. 6, if this is all feeling way too easy, then feel free to grab something heavy. 7, could be a backpack full of books, maybe a weight, a house plant, and 1 more on each side. I think we might have gotten an extra credit 1 in there. And 1, nice work. All right, side lunges or lateral lunges now. Let's get my chair out of the way. And toes forward. Set the hips back, shoulders pulled back, y'all. That's 1, 2, 3, squeeze your belly. You might not think that you need your belly, but I promise you do. 5, check in with your knees. Where are they positioned? You've just got 2 more on each side in this movement now. Challenge yourself to keep your shoulder blades pulled together. And then 1 more to the other side. Nice work. We're coming to the squat now. I'm going to demo this one kind of at an angle. Rip the earth apart. Gaze is forward. Shoulders pulled together. Reach your hips back and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm staying really active about ripping that ground apart, and 8, and now calf raises. So my right side first, see, I automatically went to the left, so I switched to the right. Lift with control, and down, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides if you're doing split sides. 2, 3, I promise you might be inclined to keep that knee locked out, but if you do, just give it a little bend and it'll help with your stability. And 1. All right, as promised, we're going right to the beginning. I'm going to do this set with the dowel above my head for the whole set. And then, remember that if you're using this for support, that's totally fine. I'm up above my head and I'm ripping it apart. I'm going to do bent knee variations on my hip circles this time. So picking the knee up and out, using my booty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and switch side, soft knee, tight belly. 1, 2, I'm still actively pulling on the dowel with about 40% of my strength. 2 more. 1 and 2. Reverse lunges, focusing on a sturdy torso. Gaze is lifted. My knee is not touching the ground, it's just coming to right above the ground. 4 more. 4, 3, squeeze your butt. Oop, almost lost my balance. 2, hey,
I know.
don't eat in your room.
I know.
What I say about family noises. All right, if you have your arms above your head, you need to get a little blood flow. My hands are a little tingly. I'm gonna bring it down so you get a little breather there, and side lunges. Toes moving forward. That's 1. You might notice that you can go a little bit deeper now that we've worked through this movement a bit. As your adductors are up. 4. Shoulders out of your ears if your arms are up. 6. 2 more. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Reach your hips back. Reach them back. Last one on each side. And 1. All right. We've got squats now. So set up your squat. If you're using your chair, you can grab your chair. Feet are a little bit wider than hips width apart. Slightly toed out, 5 to 10 degrees. Rip the earth apart. Pull your dowel apart if you're using your dowel. Reach your hips back. And 1, 2. Inhale and exhale. 3, 4. Check in with your belly. Are your core muscles warm? 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we've got calf raises. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 more. 3, 2, and switch sides. 1, 2, 3. I'm very distracted by this cute little dog in the background. There's 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. You earned some rest, so go ahead and take it. You've got 60 seconds, and then we're going to come back together. So we've got 1 minute. We're going to come back together, and then we're going to put these together in a compound movement. So how's everyone feeling? Do we have a little bit of sweat for me? I hope so. Say hi to Pony Lee. And we've got 34 seconds. Have your water. Nobody's saying hi, so I'm assuming that you're fine. If you're dying, let me know so I know if I need to work in some more rest for y'all. Otherwise, I'll just keep freestyling for the rest of our minute. How's my COVID mustache doing, y'all? What do you think? Ari, feeling good. My hip clicks a lot for the leg opener. Doesn't hurt though. So that's pretty common. Mine does that too. And Unless it's a sharp pain, it's really nothing to pain, or shouldn't say sharp pain. As long as there's no pain, it's nothing to worry about. So, all right. How about we put this together? So I'm going to demonstrate for you what this is going to look like with all this together, and then we'll put it together for you. We got just enough time. So, stringing things together. So we started with, what did we start with? We started with hip circles, right? So we're going to do each movement on one side of the body, all the way through each movement, and then we're going to switch and do each movement on the other side of the body. So we're basically just taking everything we just did and then coupling it all together. So starting with my right leg, you can start with whatever leg you like and whatever variation you like. We're going to go hip circle, and then we're already set up with our foot picked up off the ground. It's going to come back into a reverse lunge. And then we're all set up to step into a side lunge. From a side lunge, we set up for a squat. You come up out of your squat into heel raise if it's on one side, to both feet if it's on the other side. Now, this foot's already lifted and ready for what? Hip circle. You got it. Reverse lunge. Lateral lunge. Not quite all the way together so that you set up for a squat. And then shift your weight over for heel raise. And then this foot's lifted for hip circle. Reverse lunge. There we go. Lateral lunge. Squat. Heel raise. And then one more time here, maybe straight leg variation. Reverse lunge. Adjust your toe position if you need to. Boom. Squat. And heel raise. All right. How did everyone feel on that? Do you have any questions? I'll give you all a moment in case anything came up for anyone with that. And then we're going to work on a set or two of that. Probably 2 sets of 8. Everyone's good. Then we're going to go ahead and move through it. All right. If you need support, why don't I go ahead and do a set, do a couple reps with the support of the dowel so you can see what that looks like. Starting with, what was it again? That's right, hip circles. So, hip circle, reverse lunge, lateral lunge, squat, adjust your dowel if you need to, and heel raise. And then we're set up for hip circle, reverse lunge, lateral lunge, squat, and heel raise. Good, that's 1 on both sides. And hip circle, reverse lunge, lateral lunge, squat, heel raise, circle, reverse lunge, lateral lunge, squat, and there's 2. Nice work, y'all. You got this. Circle, lunge, lateral, squat, heel, and circle, reverse, lateral, squat, and heel raise. 3. Let's speed it up a little bit. If you feel like a faster pace is appropriate for you, then you can go faster. If not, then stay at whatever pace feels good for you. Circle, reverse, lateral, squat, and good. There's 4. We're halfway through this set. Just keep it going nice and strong. And whatever feels appropriate. Circle. The limbs are kind of moving all over the place here. So your stabilizers might be going, what? And good. 3 more. Circle, reverse, lateral, squat, and boom. Good. A little less cues now that we got 2 more, okay? Now that you've had a chance to get used to this. So you notice I kind of stopped talking quite as much. You should have a good feel for the sequence now. Good. 1 more now. Circle, reverse lunge, lateral, squat, and good. Try and move as fluid as you can. Trying to be as smooth as we can. Don't worry about going fast because you arbitrarily feel like you have to. Good. So that was 8 on each side of this movement. We have enough time. We're going to do 1 more set. So if you need water, then have your water. I'll give you a couple seconds to get that, and then we're going to go right into it. Yes, the dog is being very, very cute. All right, let's do it. I'm ready. Are you ready? So starting in hip circle, reverse lunge, and boom. Good. Feeling my stability suffer a little bit in that last set, which is normal when things start to get tired. So I'm going to take a little bit of contact with in between each movement. Lots of sweat. Nixie's got lots of sweat. Good, and boom. Good, and then right in here, boom. There we go. So like I said, I'm taking this little toe tap in between because in my last set, I was feeling that stability start to suffer. And I always want to stay humble and stay in movement that's healthy, meaning that I'm not compromising my joints. So I'm not setting myself up for an injury because I felt like I had to go at a certain pace that my body just wasn't set up for today. There we go. You're almost there, y'all. You're doing great. Take your squat. And boom. Let's get 1 more on each side. Circle. Squeeze your belly. Lunge. Lunge. Squat. And heel. And circle. Take it back for reverse lunge. Lateral lunge. Squat it down. And heel raise. Woo, all right. So play around with this over the course of the week. You can watch the video again. It's going to get posted. You can practice. You have my voice there to talk you through it. We're going to work on some mobility now. So paying it back into the bank of our joints. You've heard me talk about this a lot. I'm going to pull my mat in closer. We're going to come down to the ground. She always wants to be on my mat. All right. So coming down to the ground. Let's go ahead and start on hands and knees. And we did a little bit of these short lever mountain climbers for those that were doing that variation earlier. And we're going to step your foot up. And then with the knee, we're going to make circles. So drive your knee forward, press it out, and then pull it in. Drive it forward, push it out, pull it in. Forward, out, and in. There you go, nice. Try to keep this foot nice and flat. And let's go the other way. So take it out, forward, and back, out, forward, and back. You got this. Just take that relief. You earned it. Good. Bring that foot down. Is that a... No, that's an old one. Okay. And other foot. So driving it forward, out, and back. Forward, out, and back. That's 3, 4, 5, we're going to go the other way. So now forward, in, and back. Forward, in, and back. There you go. All right, we're going to set up a child's pose position now. So bring your feet are together, your knees are wide, and then your hips are going to go back to your heels. So we're right in here, hips back to heels. Your arms are going to extend out in front of you. And then press your chest to the ground and then rock forward and press into the front of your hips. My feet are still together and I'm pressing in to stretch the front of my hips. And then rock it back and pull it forward. And back. And forward. And 3 more. That's 1, 2, and 3. Let's come into a half kneeling position. You're going to drive that shin down into the ground. Drive through your front knee to stretch out your hip flexor. And then rock it back. Flex that bottom foot to come into your hamstring. There we go. Keep the booty tight. Keep the belly tight. Two more. 1. And 2. Let's switch sides. Bring your other foot forward and press into it. And then flexed foot, bring that toe with you. So hip flexor, that's the front of your hip. And then this one you should feel in the hamstring. It's falling over here. 4. And 1 more. And 1. All right, let's come to seated. We're going to start with our feet together in a butterfly position. So if you can, get a hold of your feet. And then with your knees, you want to drive them down towards the earth. Pull your shoulders back. So squeeze them together, roll them back and down. And then squeeze your butt, press your knee down towards the earth. And if you can't get to your feet, you could grab your shins here and then put your elbows into your knees and press down. Take a couple of deep breaths here. We're going to extend into our hamstring. If you can't get your toes, you can grab the back of your leg or you can grab the top of your leg, whatever you have access to. You could even grab your toes and just not extend your leg all the way, but you do want to extend to the point that you feel a stretch in the back of your thigh. Good, let's switch sides. If you squeeze the top of your thigh, then it should give you a nice deeper stretch in the back of your thigh. And release it. Beautiful work, everyone. How's everyone feeling? Hopefully we got a little bit of sweat, a little bit of relief. So remember, we always start with some mobility. We start by getting our joints prepped and ready to work. And then we always end by also stretching. So thank you so much to everyone for being here. If you are looking for ways to support the project, you can go to our website. It's TG-ENBY.com. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube and turn on the notifications, and it will let you know when we schedule a class. We're here every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I can't wait until it's safe for us to have class in person together again. But until then, I'm more than happy to show you the development of my new living room. So thank you, Ari. Thank you, Mixie. I don't know who else is in here, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see y'all later. Bye.